everyone, and welcome back to A Purposeful Pursuit. I'm Crystal, and I'm excited because today I'm going to be talking about 3 things that you should be doing if you want to be in a healthy relationship. So I'm sharing these tips and this advice with you because healthy relationships don't just start once you're in a relationship. They start with the preparation that you do to get into that relationship. If you like to get relationship tips and want advice on meeting and marrying the one sooner, that is what my husband and I here do on the channel. So make sure that you hit that subscribe button, and let's jump into today's video. So the first thing that you want to do if you want to be in a healthy relationship is be a healthy human. And this doesn't count as one of the tips. It's just the baseline from which I'm going to be catapulting all of the other things that I'm going to say in this video, because the truth is it's impossible and really impractical to think that we can be unhealthy individuals but somehow be in a healthy relationship producing healthy and productive things really in any area of our lives. And so it's really important to make sure that you are taking care of yourself, that you are practicing self-care. And so really in this video, I'm going to be giving you 3 tips for self-care that are going to help prepare you to be a healthier individual so that you can have a healthy relationship when that time comes, or you can start practicing these tips now if you are currently in a relationship. So let's jump in with tip number 1. So tip number 1 is to be pursuing purpose. If you did not know, here on the channel we are all about not just being in a relationship, but being in a purposeful relationship that God has ordained for you. Why? Because one, when you're in a purposeful relationship that's been ordained by God, it is going to allow you to meet and marry the one sooner. And that is what my husband and I want for you on this channel. For those of you who do not know, my husband and I met, got engaged, and married all in 9 months, and we know this can happen for you too. But the truth is, my husband and I didn't meet each other on a whim. We were both in pursuit of purpose, in pursuit of the thing we believe God is calling us to do in the earth, and that is how our paths collided. And so I want you to be intentional about pursuing the purpose that God has for you. And so if you do not know what your purpose is, make sure that you send me an email. I really want to help you out with that, and my husband does as well, because we believe that there is such an amazing strength that comes from operating in purpose. And like I said, it allows you to be in alignment that you need to be in so that you can meet your mates. Now, the second thing that I'm going to tell you need to do is you need to get in the habit of forgiving yourself for things that you have done wrong. So this is a part of practicing self-care, you guys. I know this is something that I definitely have struggled with, forgiving myself for things that I've gotten wrong sometimes. The truth is, none of us get it right 100% of the time. For me, I struggle with this because I think about where would I be now if I had made the right decision back then. The truth is, we cannot live our lives that way. It does not do anything to grow us and make us a better individual when we think about woulda, shoulda, coulda. What we should be focusing on is forgiving ourselves so that we can properly walk in the truth that we now have, the better decision that we're now making. And so I want to encourage you guys to forgive yourself often. Forgive yourself quickly. We talk a lot about forgiving others, but really we need to learn to forgive ourselves. And when we learn to forgive ourselves, it actually empowers us and makes us better at forgiving others. So remember, it's okay that you don't get it right 100% of the time. Forgive yourself quickly and then use that empowerment to be able to continue on. Remember, there is a grace from God that is available for our wrong decisions, even when we have not done the right thing, when our heart is in the right place. And honestly, even if sometimes we were just young, dumb, and doing stuff, because I know that was me for a season, God will still offer his forgiveness to you, and that is the greatness and the grace of God. So forgive yourself often. The third thing that I'm going to say, which is literally the most important thing, is spend time with God. There is so much nourishment that comes to our lives from taking time to spend time with God. One, when you spend more time with God, you're going to learn his voice, how he speaks to you, what he says to you. So you're not always trying to run around and ask everybody, do you think I should do this? Do you think I should do that? God is going to speak to you for himself and tell you exactly what you should be doing. I know a lot of times you guys wonder, is this the one? Is this not the one? I'm really not sure. So you're asking God for confirmations, and sometimes you ask for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and counting confirmations to know if this is a person that God is sending into your life, because you're really unsure about what it sounds like when you hear the voice of God. Spending more time with God on a daily basis is going to allow you to know and understand when it is God that is speaking and when it's just your thoughts rambling on. And so I want to encourage you to be intentional about spending more time with God. What your time spent with God looks like can be totally different. It's not going to necessarily mean you're sitting in a prayer closet praying for hours a day. It could look like anything. It could look like a conversation with you and God while you're cooking dinner, while you're thinking about things. I definitely encourage you to read your word, especially if you are new to the faith, especially if you're new to learning the voice of God. Reading the written word will allow you to understand the heart and the character of who God is, who he wants to be in your life. And so when you start to read and hear his voice from the word, when you need to hear about specific things concerning your life, you will be able to hear more clearly and, like I said, authenticate and know that that is truly God's voice that is speaking to you. And so I really want to encourage you guys to practice these areas of self-care, because like I said, they are what is going to lead you to be able to be a healthy individual, so that then you can be in a healthy relationship. Like I said, my husband and I met, got engaged, and married all in 9 months. And that came because we were doing these things, practicing that self-care, pursuing purpose, aligning ourselves with the destiny and the purpose that God had for us and what he was calling us to do. And not just on a large scale, but on a small scale. Where does he physically want me to be right now to be in alignment with purpose? I tell you guys all the time that your purpose is meant to help you live out an expression of the desires that you have in your heart. And I tell you guys that your spouse is physically located somewhere on the planet. Sometimes we over spiritualize things and we think, oh, like, where could he be? He's physically located somewhere. He's at work right now, driving in his car right now, sitting in his house right now. He's physically located somewhere. If you're a man, she's physically located somewhere. This individual is somewhere. And when you are living out your purpose, you will physically place yourself where you need to be so that you can meet and live life with this person well. And so purpose is a huge thing for us on this channel. Like I said, forgiveness, that's super important. Spending time with God, that's super important. We want you to have a purposeful pursuit so that you can meet and marry the one that God has for you sooner. Like I said, subscribe to the channel if you found this video and helpful and you want to get more videos on relationship tips and advice so we can help you be prepared to meet and marry the one sooner. We are so excited to be a part of your journey. Make sure you join me for morning devotionals. I do those in the morning at 8:30, and so I do them live so that we can talk, we can conversate. I love you guys so much. I don't want to just be a person on this side of the screen. I want to be an integral part of the journey that you are on and help in any way that I can. So that is all for today, and until next time, peace.